everybody, welcome to our video all about Phase 2 phonics. In Phase 2 of letters and sounds, our children learn phonemes, which are sounds, and they learn that phonemes are represented by graphemes, and that a grapheme can be one letter or groups of letters. We learn them like these using our special cards. We say the sound and we model the letter formation at the same time. The children will have a go at saying the sound and air writing the letter, ready for when they're writing it on paper at a later date. We do the same for sounds like this. O, We don't say n or m, as that makes it difficult for the children when they're blending later on. There are also some shorter sounds which we teach in a slightly different way by repeating the sound. If you listen to me, d, 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 I, t, t, t. Just to point out here, our T is particularly small at Overchurch because we use the thras letter formation, and it is a lot smaller than the other tall letters. A, k, 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 p, 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 b, 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 h, 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 o, e, k, 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 g, g, g. We would still teach those in the same way. G, 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 g. So the children are seeing it and hearing it and saying it, a multi-sensory approach. To further embed this, we have pictures on the back of our cards. So for example, on this one, we have a g, and on this side, we have a goat. Just to note, at this point, we are not saying to the children the letter names. The letter names are taught at Phase 3 through an alphabet song, and that's kept very separately from learning the sounds, the phonemes that they need to read words in books. G, 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 goat. G, 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 goat. Have lots and lots of repetition each day to really embed those sounds. Towards the end of Phase 2, we have consonant diagrams. A digraph is two letters that make one sound. And in Phase 2, we learn s, all, and k with the children. Again, they have a picture to help the children. K is rocket. We also have our Overchurch spelling chart that we have made. This will help the children when they are spelling later on. We're not expecting children at Phase 2 to know all of these different representations. That builds as they move through our phonics programme. But they will know lots of the top ones, and they may come across some of the others, maybe in their name, or maybe through the double letters and the digraphs that are taught at the end of Phase 2. So we will be sending one of these home for you, but please don't worry if your child doesn't know all of the smaller ones. Please concentrate on these ones across the top. When they've had a go at learning the sounds, we are ready for one of the most important aspects of our phonics programme, and that's Robot Rex, our sound talker. Sound talking is absolutely essential to children's reading and writing. They need to be able to sound talk the words, orally blend them, before they can read or write them. So Rex will say things like k, at, cat, and the children are hearing that and seeing how the word is blended before they even see the word on paper. It's really useful if you could have a go at doing some oral blending at home. I try it with my children. Go and get your k-o-t, coat. At first, blend it for them, but eventually let them blend for themselves and see if they can follow the instruction. Go to b-e-d is my favourite. When they're ready, we move on to teaching them decodable words. Decodable means that we can blend them to read. We can sound them out. So like this one. P, I, n, pin. We point underneath each one. P, I, n, and then draw an imaginary line as we blend. Pin. At school, you and I were probably taught in We don't teach them like that anymore. That was called onset and rhyme. We now blend all the way through the word in all words that we come across that are decodable. We also learn some tricky words. Tricky words used to be learned by sight, and we would just have to know that that said go. The new guidance suggests that we very much focus on what makes the word tricky. So the g is not tricky for the children. They've already learned g for goat. But this part of the word, that is tricky because they know that that says o, but in this word it says o. So the really important part about tricky words is exploring the tricky bit with the children so that that's embedded in their brain when they see those words in books. Moving on from blending, the children are ready for segmenting. Segmenting is what we do when we break the words up to spell them. So in your child's classroom, they will have magnetic letters, they will have word building cards. The grown-up might say to them, can they make the word sat? They have to be able to go s, a, t. Count the phonemes, really, really important to count the phonemes for when they're independently writing those down. S, a, t. Check by blending. S, a, sat. They'll move from this into writing it themselves. But when they're writing it themselves, the teacher will always model it, hide it, and then the children will have a go themselves. I hope that's taught you a little bit more about phase 2. Thank you for listening.